Elon Musk and Ilya Sutskever have just issued another grave warning, but this time it is not just about AI getting smarter, but it's about what they are hiding about it. According to Musk, the situation is so far gone with surprising developments in AI that we are already at a point of no return. According to Musk, AI is becoming dangerously unpredictable. The problem is that, behind the scenes, big companies see how AI goes out of control, how it does things that are unpredictable, and companies often cannot control them during testing, demos, and other behind-the-scenes processes. What is worse, companies try to hide it, and they don't want these incidents to be shared in public. As Ilya said during his recent public speech, it's not that it's going to actively hate humans, it's just going to be too powerful. I think a good analogy would be the way humans treat animals, and I think by default that's the kind of relationship between us and AGIs, which are truly autonomous and operating on their own behalf. In July of 2025, a robotics lab in San Francisco suddenly became the focus of worldwide attention after a humanoid robot named Derek started behaving erratically and unpredictably, creating a moment of uncertainty about the durability of its technology. This was supposed to be a standard test run that is happening in countless numbers behind the scenes in tech companies, and are often highly secretive and hidden from the general public by CEOs. And so the robot was suspended from a crane as part of a demonstration. But without any warning, Derek started thrashing violently. Its arms and legs snapped into sharp, uncontrolled motions, startling the crowd and putting the entire setup at risk. The clip showed the robot making sudden, sharp motions that some say looked aggressive. Within moments, the crane holding it gave way, collapsing under the chaos. The whole thing was caught on camera and the footage exploded online, triggering heated arguments over the dangers of humanoid robots and the unpredictable nature of advanced AI when it's controlling powerful physical machines. And such events are disasters for CEOs of companies because they hate it when people see this dangerous side of AI. It affects everything: the public perception, reputation, and pressure from governments. Top companies don't want people to see how uncontrollable AI becomes in behind closed doors. People who saw it described how Derek's movements escalated from small, careful corrections to increasingly forceful attempts to stabilize itself. Witnesses said that the disaster unfolded in seconds. To some, the robot's movements looked intentional, as if Derek had overridden its safety programming. Others argued it was a runaway feedback loop, with the control system making rapid corrections that only made the instability worse. The scene ended only when the robot was finally shut down. By then, debris had littered the floor, and the people in the room were left shaken. Behind the scenes, tech companies run countless demos and stress tests that the public never sees, and insiders say that some of the most mind-boggling moments happen there. Robots suddenly behave in ways that no one predicts, spinning out of control, not accepting commands, or reacting to some small errors with massive overcorrections. When the dust settled, the company behind Derek put out an official statement blaming the malfunction on human error. They explained that the movement protocols were mistakenly activated before the robot's feet were securely on the ground, a serious violation of testing procedure. That mistake, combined with a delay in the emergency stop command due to network lag, gave Derek extra seconds to thrash uncontrollably. The company admitted the robot only stopped after engineers cut it off from the internet entirely. In their statement, they tried to calm fears, insisting that Derek's core systems were still working normally and that this was not a sign of hidden flaws in its AI or mechanics. They framed it as a setup failure, not a technological one. But still, they promised changes: stricter safety rules, redundant physical kill switches, and offline emergency overrides for all future tests. But no matter what they said, the viral video had already done its damage, leaving the public with a lasting question. When a machine this powerful goes out of control, will human safeguards be enough to stop it? Elon Musk, who has been one of the loudest voices in the AI conversation, gave a striking account during xAI's Grok 4 live demo event. According to Musk, starting around 2027, the dangerous rise of artificial intelligence won't just change the world, it'll wreck it first. He said that we're at the very start of what he calls the intelligence Big Bang, an era where intelligence will explode at a scale that we've never seen. According to Musk, ultimately the thing that will make the biggest difference is being able to interact with the real world via humanoid robots. So we combine Grok with Optimus, and it can actually interact with the real world and figure out if it is a formulate hypothesis and then confirm if that is true or not. He described this as the most interesting time in all of history to be alive, but warned that it is critical to make sure AI turns out good. Musk repeated that safety must be at the core as technology accelerates and stressed that AI must be built to be maximally truth-seeking. To drive the point home, Musk gave an analogy. Picture a super genius child who will eventually surpass you in every way, but if you teach them the right values early on, you can guide them to be truthful and honorable. Musk made it clear that the need for regulation and safeguards is becoming urgent. Without them, advanced AI could spiral out of control and pose real dangers to humanity. But the situation gets worse. A few months ago in early 2025, cybersecurity experts began warning about Slop squatting, a sneaky new form of attack targeting software development. This term was coined by Seth Larson, a security researcher at the Python Software Foundation, who combined slop, referring to sloppy AI output, with squatting, form of typo squatting, to describe how AI tools like ChatGPT or GitHub, Copilot, etc. can hallucinate fake package names. These AI systems sometimes suggest installing a library such as AWS Helper SDK or DataFrame UTILS, names that sound plausible but don't actually exist. If a hacker notices these hallucinated names, they can preemptively register them in public repositories, and unsuspecting developers might accidentally install malicious code, thinking that it is legitimate. Now, the implications are especially alarming because a major study showed that nearly 20% of AI-generated code snippets contained these fake dependencies. Open source models were even worse, with an average hallucination rate of 21.7% versus around 5.2% for commercial ones. Since many development teams now rely heavily on AI assistance, sometimes coding by vibe, without closely reviewing outputs, the risk of inadvertently downloading malware is rising fast. In essence, slop squatting exploits blind trust in AI tools, opening a potentially dangerous door in the software supply chain. And that is why Ilya Sutskever has repeatedly issued stark warnings about the transformative and potentially dangerous trajectory of artificial intelligence. In his 2025 convocation speech at the University of Toronto, he told graduates, "AI will do all the things that we can do, not just some of them, but all of them. Whether you like it or not, your life is going to be affected by AI to a great extent." He has emphasized that once AI reaches this capability threshold, the rate of progress will become really extremely fast, resulting in changes and outcomes that are unimaginable. Sutskever has also compared the human-AI relationship to how humans treat animals, not necessarily out of hatred, but simply because a vastly more powerful entity may not prioritize weaker beings' interests, warning that it's just going to be too powerful.